Probably wondering why I'm smiling. I'm smiling because I love young people. I really, really do. And I'm thankful for an opportunity to stand before you today. As my daughter has said, my husband was supposed to be here, but life happens. And we have to make a decision. We either stop or we keep moving forward. I'm thankful for an opportunity to be here today. At 74 years old, this entire experience has shown me something. I know it's called still becoming. And at this age, I am. The innovations and the things that have transpired in my lifetime have been things that sometimes would stop you in your track, put fear in you. But I decided to live anyway. I remember as a little girl, back in the day, because I'm 74, if you wanted to write a letter to someone, you would write it, but it's not going to get there until 3 or 4 days later. But then, here comes the computer. We look at this thing and you don't know which button to push to get it started. But I thank God for the tenacity that He gave me to ask somebody. And by the way, I have 27 grandchildren. All I got to do is call one of them. They'll tell me which button to push and what to type. That's a blessing. When we used to take pictures, see, you all don't know about that. We had to take the picture with that little Polaroid camera and then go take it over to the drugstore and drop the film in there and wait about a week or so for the picture to come back. Don't have to do that anymore. All those little 27 grandchildren, I got a little device they call a cell phone. I can dial the number. Their little faces come up and I can talk to every one of them. That's a blessing for me. So we, at a certain age, sometimes get to the point you want to say, I'm too old to know that. I'm going to leave it to the young folks. I'm not going to leave anything to you young folks. Y'all going to tell me. You going to show me how to do it and how to do it correctly. Even today, when I got here today, my phone went out. I couldn't get the Wi-Fi. I looked around for a young person. He didn't know me. I didn't know him. But I said, come here, baby. I'm going to need you to get me back on the Wi-Fi. And he did just that. I think in our lifetimes, we have to get to the point that we have purpose. And I thank God for my purpose. My husband and I had 6 children. And our purpose was to train them and teach them to get an education, to make sure they have a good life, and to be kind to people. One of the ways that I wanted to lay that, my older son went to college to become a veterinarian. And he kept looking and wondering about, how he was going to do. One day he called me. He said, Mom, the teacher will not have a session with me and his friend because they were the only little chocolate folk in the class. We didn't have a ranch, that had some horses and cows. We had a couple of dogs. That's all we had. And I said, well, let me ask you a question, son. What are they doing in their tutoring sessions? He said, well, she gets the book and they have chips and no Coke and they laugh and talk, but they go over the things in the book. That's okay. Do you have that same book? Yes, ma'am. I said, well, go to Walmart, get your bag of chips and a Coke. And you and your friend sit down and have your tutoring session. Because that's all they're doing. He said, oh, okay. See, we can't let these things in life stop us. When my daughter, Dr. Crystal, said that the Lord had placed it on her heart to do robotics and to teach these children how to code these, and you had to build a robot, and then you had to code it. I was looking like, okay. But she went to college for that. Now, I looked up and there go the little robots across the floor, and then I said, they would turn it and pick it up. I said, what you say? I was excited about it. But then when she said that the Lord had told her to come to South Africa to do the same, my husband and I were with her 100% because we wanted the dream to be realized. That's what we look at with the ideas and the things, the new apps and all these things. Those are dreams that formulated in the mind. I live in San Antonio, Texas. I-35, y'all look it up. Oh my God. Traffic everywhere, cars everywhere, stuff everywhere. I kept looking at these big pillars going up, and I'm like, what are they doing? But then I realized that in that engineer's mind, he had seen the road already, the highway being built from one city to another, one town to another. So every day, y'all, I get up and I go on 35 because I want to see what you're doing today, what you're doing today. And I thank God for the tenacity he has given me to want to be an example so that others can see a life that say, if she can do it, I can do it. When I was reading books and I thought about the things that were going on in my own personal life and things, I said, well, I can write a book. Somebody said, well, why are you going to do that? You old. Yeah, that was the look I gave him. And what did I do? My husband and I wrote 10 books. When we went to this space over in San Antonio, a whole little apartment complex, it was built up, looked nice, but it was boarded up as well. My husband said, God told me to get this complex and start a church. I said, you do see these boarded up, right? He said, I do. But this is what he said, do. And he said, we're going to stand on James 1:27 to take care of the widows and the orphans in their distress. Every day that he lived, that's what he did. The church is New Covenant Family Church, the place where people pray together to stay together. And I thank God for that. When he died on March 31st of this year, to be honest with you, I didn't know if I could make it. And that's truth. We've been married 47 years. But that same tenacity that God gave me to teach our children to be able to go to school, to get an education, and get a job, that same tenacity said the innovations and all these things that have been created, I could still use to keep going forward in the vision that he had for that church. And that is what we're doing to this day. I'm thankful for the opportunity to talk to young people, because in our marriage, not only did we have our 6 biological children, we adopted 10 more. And to see those children grow into adults, have their own children, go to school, we had a whole rainbow coalition, every personality and every nationality out of those 10. But it was a blessing, because now they walk in the Word and they plant a seed that if this is what you are supposed to do, this is your purpose, then that is what we need to do. So innovations, they don't have an age limit. We've got to learn to push forward in everything it is that God has purposed for us to do. The young people that I met at our first meeting when we had our luncheon with them, they showed the video a little bit ago. It was such a blessing for them to say, Bishop Juanita, could I get your phone? And I said, yeah, I handed my phone. I want to put my name and my address in there so you can write me in. So just that few minutes at that table with them, I thank God that I had an opportunity to maybe inspire or ignite something on the inside that caused them to want to stay in touch, because I want to stay in touch with them too. So the opportunity to be here today, I want to thank my daughter for it, because this being here in South Africa was the gift that my husband left. He was going to bring me here with him for my birthday. But he didn't make it. Not in body, but he's here every bit in spirit. And I am so thankful for the opportunity to be here. And my wish, my desire for my daughter, Dr. Crystal T. Morris, because if you saw my husband's face, you'd see her. She looks just like it. Is that she continues to move forward. Don't back up and don't quit. Don't let anything get in the way of the vision to help others. She's been doing this all of her life. And I am so grateful and thankful that if we had anything to do with how she is inspired, I just give God glory. Thank you.